Oh, jeez, did I? Are we live? Oh, God.
Yeah, we are. We're live.
Hello, welcome. We're live. It's the Crafty Boys, where we talk about beer and talk about bullshit and have fun doing it. So, hi, how are you, Alan?
I'm well, thank you. How are you? That is the important question that everybody wants to know. How is Shane today?
I am doing very well today because I'm not dead. So there you go. And that to me is like probably one of the pinnacle things that people need to recognize. Is you're still alive, things are going okay.
Yeah. If you're on this side of the dirt, things are looking up. Literally.
Things are looking up. Da, 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 da. So we're going to drink some beer, and I think that we should talk about it. So what beer do you have today? Locke, I hope, will show up sometime soon. Dave might even make an appearance today, but I have a suspicion that they're already drinking their beer. So what about us?
Okay, well, Locke likes to be fashionably late, so he'll probably show up. What I'm drinking today is from Fuggles in Vancouver, British Columbia, actually Richmond more specifically. It is their gin and lime pilsner. This has been slightly rebranded. It used to be available in the small 355 ml cans and in 6-packs. Now they have switched to these 473 ml tall boys, and you get them in 4-packs. They changed the label slightly as well because it used to be Fuggles and Warlock, of course, and now it's just Fuggles. Right. And anyway, what matters is not so much the packaging, but the beer inside. Now, if you're a fan of Pilsners or you like refreshing beverages, I think you can.
Yes.
So this is the pour. It comes off really light colored. Obviously filtered, very effervescent, lots of bubbles happening.
Bubbles. We like bubbles.
It smells like a Pilsner. You can detect a little bit of the lime coming off of the scent. And what you end up with is a really, really, really refreshing beer. This is like a summer kind of thing that you can have, a few while you're at a party or whatever. It comes in at 5.3%. It has an IBU rating of 25, which I find shockingly high for this beer. I wouldn't expect that. Highly quaffable. And I can't taste the gin so much. I guess there's a little bit of a hint of it there. It's more the lime.
Right.
And I find that the combination of the lime and the Pilsner, it's just so rock solid. This is a winner. And I don't think it's like a year-round thing. I think they put it out mainly in the summer. If you get a chance, go pick it up.
I couldn't find it. I found probably 5 other beers by Fuggles when I was looking last week. But I'm going to go again this weekend and see if I can find it because I really want to try it. It's like you and I have had some great success with those beers that have had some sort of cocktail. I don't know, a bit like that weird one that we had was sort of where it kicked off for me, which was
the old-fashioned one.
The old-fashioned, which was that Budweiser? The Budweiser Copper or something? Or
no, we did that, but that was kind of different. There was one of the Christmas.
Right, the old-fashioned from the one of the packs. Yeah, that one was so good. Like that was like drinking an old-fashioned with nothing else. Like that to me was just the best. Then there was but that Budweiser. I want to call it Budweiser, but I don't think it was Budweiser.
Okay, well we did a Budweiser Copper, which was
Budweiser. Okay,
that had been aged on Jim Beam barrel staves.
Right. That's right. That's what it was. That's right. It had the right. The beer that had been in a barrel for a while. That's right. I loved that one.
So good.
It was so good. The old fashioned though, I had forgotten about the old fashioned from the Christmas pack. So that was actually one where I went to the liquor store, the BC liquor store that year, after Christmas at 49th or 41st or whatever it is in Vancouver at Canby, and picked up some more of the old fashioned ones because for some reason that location was taking the Christmas packs after Christmas was done, and they were opening them up and just putting them on the shelf.
Wow.
So there was no organization whatsoever. It was just like they opened a bunch, threw them on a shelf, and then you just kind of picked whatever you wanted. So, my beer tonight is from Tofino Brewing Company. We've had them on the show before. We actually had a donation of beer from somebody who had been in Tofino, knew about our show, and brought it to me. And it was I believe it was the one that has the kelp one.
Yeah. Was it your mom?
And no, it wasn't. It was actually somebody who lives in my building. They had actually been there and they knew we did this. That's what they brought us some. Anyway, this is their Cosmic Wave Double IPA, which is 9% alcohol by volume. I'm looking forward to this one because I haven't had it before. I certainly hope it does the job of giving me a taste sense.
And while Shane is pouring that, I'll indicate that I had been looking for that one as well on the island. And surprisingly, I couldn't find it in Victoria, even though Tofino Brewing is a Vancouver Island brewery. You would think I would have an easier chance of finding it than Shane, but there we are.
Peanut Gallery. There's a thing for you in a Saskatchewan Rough Riders glass. Right here, waiting for you because I'm a very nice person and giving you half of my beer. At 9%, I should be, to be honest. We're getting old. We have to take boner pills, heart pills, what other pills? Liver pills, bum pills. There we go.
Cholesterol.
So here we go. Cholesterol pills. So this is the being out. So this is what it looks like. It's holy mother of Murgatroyd.
Hello.
And we're gonna get the echo again all over.
I was fetching my beer.
Go again all over. So there's the color.
Okay.
You want to tell him, Alan?
Yeah, Locke, go get your headphones. Yeah,
what?
Locke, go get your headphones.
Oh, is it
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Doing it
Let me
again.
just check something.
Doing it again. All right. So this is. It smells amazing. Absolutely amazing. That alone is worth getting this beer. This is what I'm drinking, Locke. Just in case you're watching.
Oh, okay.
Tofino Brewing Cosmic
Tofino,
Wave
nice.
Double IPA.
Okay.
Go. It's gonna go down the gullet now. That's a good beer.
It's so good you could say it twice. All right, I think he's got his headphones plugged in.
There we go. That's better.
Did that solve the problem?
It did.
That solves the problem. I don't know why your computer's dumb
why
now.
I'm not hearing any of that. I don't know why I'm hearing that. Not hearing it at my end. It's weird.
Because when we speak, it plays it on your end. But the problem is your microphone is picking it up on the other way, coming back the other way. So to us, we hear the delay, and then we. Yeah, but you wouldn't hear it though because you're only hearing it once.
It's because of the international.
So it's just a two ping. It's not like an echo.
No, it's just
We say it, then we hear
okay.
ourselves.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
A few seconds later.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
But overall, the beer that I got, double IPA, Cosmic Wave double IPA from Tofino Brewing, is fabulous. I am actually. It has that I don't know. There's just something about how they do it. And I did read somewhere recently that there was some issue with water
You read
restrictions.
something somewhere?
I did on the interweb.
You.
I did not get it through Facebook. But they were having to cut back, or one of the breweries, and maybe it was Uculate, where they were having to. There's a brewery there as well that I can't think of the name of, but they had to stop brewing because of water restrictions. Like there was just not enough water. So I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out. But overall, Locke, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking the eminently crushable Party Shorts.
Oh,
Party Shorts by whom?
I need better light here. And this is by Sawdust City, who, as you know, I like very much.
Yep, Sawdust City, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Party Shorts
at home?
Party
Are you on the trail?
I am at home. Rather, home. Yeah, where's home anymore? I'm
Exactly.
I'm in the wilds outside of Bracebridge.
Oh, okay, excellent. All right, so you're there.
Yeah.
But so Sawdust has done it for you again.
Yeah.
Like this is you
Yeah.
see it, I think you've become
so-
a
so
fixture
what-
there. You're like Norm.
Well, yeah. Oh, a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, better looking than Norm. Better dressed at least. So a couple of weeks ago, I had a kick-ass double IPA Aussie style called "Get It In Ya." That was an 8.5.
Yep.
This is along similar lines, but this one is, what is it, 5%? Yeah, 5%. So it's
hazy. That's like hardcore
little-
hazy, isn't it?
It is hardcore hazy, yeah. Flavor profile, kind of a bit of a grapefruit thing, but a little bit piney. It's spicy. Actually, is sort of how I would describe it. The hops are bright enough, and in a kind of a grapefruity kind of a way. If you can imagine grapefruit, if it was sharp enough to actually be spicy, kind of the way like a hot pepper is spicy.
Right. That's kind of nice, actually.
Yeah, it's
And it's well balanced between the two.
It's an exciting flavor. It's, as I say, quaffable. Yeah, it's resiny. The mouthfeel is, you can kind of, your tongue feels some extra grip.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what they say on the tin. Sun's out, legs out. That's right. Summer's almost over, so grab your favorite pair of party shorts and hit the beach. Play some frizz, jump in the water, catch some rays while you can. Whatever your jam is, our Party Short Session IPA is the perfect companion for fun in the sun with waves of, I don't get this, passion fruit. If there's passion fruit in there, I can't fucking taste it. This extra juicy, hazy crusher helps beat the heat while it lasts. Yeah, all right. And contents are barley. They're not giving away any trade secrets here.
Just a
Wait a
can
minute.
full of barley.
This is a can of beer.
There's barley in here. Some
So
barley
out
in
of
there
curiosity, Locke, did they have another beer in their repertoire called Party Pants?
No, but they have
Because that seems like it would be a
called?
good name for a beer. Party Pants. There's pants in my party. Or
party pants. Yeah.
There's pants in your part. I have pants in my
They
party.
have a Belgian styled one called Princess Wears Girl Pants.
oh
Does that turn your
Okay.
crank?
no, not really.
No.
Maybe in a
Why would
creepy
you?
kind of
Why
way.
would you say anything about that? By the way, I have totally just ignored the chat. Is there anything going on in the chat? Yes, there is. Tech stuff and beer. Drink more beer. Yeah, exactly. That is so true. But sorry. Hi, James. By the way,
This will unlikely become clear. It is very, very opaque.
Right. So now, Locke, aren't you going to?
Ellen, I missed what you were drinking. What are you drinking?
Oh, I am drinking from Fuggles.
Okay.
Their gin and lime pilsner.
Okay. And how is it?
It is amazing. It is highly quaffable. Great mixture between the lime and the pilsner. The gin is there. It's not really it's not really forward. It's more the lime and the pilsner that you detect.
right.
But amazing.
Okay. I can see how those are flavors that would be nice.
Yeah, very refreshing, highly quaffable, great summer beer. If you're ever out on the West Coast in the summer, Locke, I highly suggest you pick it up.
Join us on a. Whoops, sorry.
Not this summer, sadly. Although I may have ideas.
Excellent.
Ideas.
So here, let me just read this. I didn't realize there was a story on the can of beer here. Join us on a transcendental journey. I wish I could read in the dark. Free from the shackles of physical existence and beyond the known realms of consciousness. Let your mind's eye guide you to the astral planes of extrasensory non-being, where we will collectively ride the cosmic waves of unity deep inside the endless barrel of the infinite void.
Okay, Timothy Leary.
Okay.
Also, this is a strong hoppy beer. Ingredients: barley, hops, yeast, etc. So there you go. This is really good beer. I have to say it's decent. It's not Fat Tug, but it's decent.
Their ad copy. I wonder if he goes bowling with the Flying Monkeys because they're on the same page. It sounds like.
Well, I mean, I bet you there's a lot of camaraderie in the nationally in the craft beer industry.
I would like to think so. I mean, the Canadian Beer Fest is admittedly more of a Western phenomenon, but then again, craft beer up until recently was more of a Western phenomenon.
Are there beer fests in Ontario?
Oh yeah, of course there are, but it's at the same state here that it was in BC a decade ago.
Or more.
Or more, yeah. I mean, it's a decade ago. Yeah, actually, a decade ago, it was.
I was going to Beer Fest.
Pretty well established out west. Yeah. No, here it's sort of. Yeah, it's still finding its feet a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. That's cool.
I mean, frankly, the province hasn't helped. I mean, it's it's a weird place for beer.
I don't want to generalize or anything, but is it also maybe a bit of the demographic? I mean, you got.
Well, I don't know that that's. No, I don't buy that. Let me tell you what I think it is.
Yeah.
What I think it is Ontario. Its long-standing rivalry is with Quebec, and I think both of them like to think of themselves as wine producers. Whether that's realistic or not, that's sort of where they've been focused in terms of, and certainly the LCBO is very keen on promoting the Ontario wine industry. The Ontario wine industry is respectable. Beer in Ontario, it's still not really respectable. If you see what I mean?
I mean, I guess. What I'm thinking is you've got your urban centers like Toronto and Ottawa, that kind of thing. But you got then you got your Peterborough, your Lindsay, your Oshawa, all that kind of thing, and these are pretty blue collar towns. I would say the majority
and also grippingly conservative.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Which kind of lends itself to sort of like more like national, like Molson Canadian or something like that.
Sure, there's a bit of that, but it's also a class thing. Like there out west, I wouldn't really say there aren't different classes of Canadian. Canadians are just Canadians.
Yeah.
Here, there's enough history that it goes back to the days when the Lords sort of looked down upon his serfs and colonists, and he might not have flicked a whip at him, but it was you do as you're told, and we conform to whatever the Europeans are doing to try to look like we're the if not aristocrats, well-moneyed at least, right? And so the idea is respectability is associated with wine because that's something that rich people have with dinner. Beer, not really. Beer is for poor people, right? And of course that's a silly way of looking at it, because if you think of the late British Empire in Britain, Disraeli was having stout and oysters for lunch every day. So, it's just a very Ontario is a little funny in that its colonial history makes it a bit stodgy about some things.
It's interesting. So getting back to the Beer Fest, Shane and I will be at Beer Fest, the Great Canadian Beer Fest, next Friday night, where we're probably going to hope to stream at least something from there, even if it's only
we should be able to.
And sorry, which night is this?
This is next Friday.
Next Friday night.
Next Friday. Okay.
And I mean, every year we say we're going to stream. Last year was actually the first year that we actually did for real. It was only like a couple of minutes. We should probably try to do it a little bit longer than that this time.
I agree. And we'll also have guests. My family are going to be coming, as well as two people that I know from Nova Scotia who are out here doing some business stuff. And we are going to be working on a project together that I'll tell Locke about after the stream. And but they are going to be in town that day. By the way, I was helping them book their travel stuff because they're currently in the Yukon and the internet sucks where they are. So we were bouncing around looking at different flights and stuff for them. And they were going to head back to Nova Scotia later, say Thursday. Which would have sucked because then I would have had to take them back to Vancouver. But then they said, it seems like a rush. And I'm like, yes, let's go with that. It's a rush. You want to go to Beer Fest the next day. And they were like, you know what? There's a really great flight Saturday morning. Then I'm like, in Vancouver. I'm like, really? What time? Like 11. I'm like, great. You're going to come to Beer Fest, get drunk, and then I'll drive you back on Saturday. There was no nefarious things going on there. They're also cool people, and I haven't seen them in a while, so I'd like to hang out with them. But at the same time, they're going to be, so they'll be there as well. So we'll stream that. It'll be fascinating. I'm very excited.
Well, plus, Shane and I are probably going to have time to kill because it was last year at Beer Fest. We realized that we're not in our 20s anymore, and we can't consume as much as we used to. Otherwise, we really feel it the next day. So I think I'm going to be like Shane. Maybe I mean I'm assuming Shane's going to cut back a little bit, and
I did
maybe
last
pace
year
myself
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year was the I think I was dumping more beer than I was drinking because it was terrible. Remember that blue stuff that the Romulan ale? That was terrible. We were excited about it because it was a unique thing, but they were like, "Okay, we got it. Yeah. Ah, what is this? Why are we drinking this? Oh God." So
I mean,
yeah.
I finished mine. I didn't dump it.
I
It
couldn't
was
do
not
it.
good.
I couldn't do it. It was horrible.
Now here's a bit of a difference this year. Is like normally we get like the master list and we can go through it and say, oh, I want to target this one, I want to target this one. There isn't a list out yet.
Yeah, that's true. I think we only have a list of most of the breweries, but nothing beyond that. Like nothing.
I think last year they had a bit of a problem in that they put out the list and there was a number of breweries that couldn't actually make it in the end because of the fires going on in the interior. And I'm kind of wondering if that's going to happen again.
Well, I mean, here's
what I'm wondering.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
Is that the American writers' strike is going to mean that there's going to be no fucking Game of Thrones flavored beer this year?
Probably not. Well, it's funny the helping those guys find flights. I was actually finding flights. If you wanted to fly back east anytime in the next like 2 weeks, there were flights going from Vancouver. There was like one nonstop flight for most, like going to Toronto, for example. And the problem is the rest of them were going up to Whitehorse. And like we're talking like they weren't milk runs. Well, some of them were, but some of the flights, they were all going north. They even had a flight going to Yellowknife. And I'm like, really? Is it on fire? But I kept thinking that's so weird that all these flights are not going to Calgary. They're going north. And then I actually looked at then I opened up a map of the wildfires and where the smoke is. The smoke is like all over Alberta, all over Saskatchewan, and in the mid sort of zone at the moment of BC. So all of that smoke from BC has kind of traveled into the prairies. And they're actually, if you kind of look at it, they're trying to go around it a bit. I think they're probably going up north and then bouncing over top or something. But we're talking like, if you wanted to go to Toronto, you would get on a plane in Vancouver, fly to Whitehorse, stay in Whitehorse for like 19 hours, and then fly east. Sometimes landing in Edmonton or Calgary or both. Like it was insane. So I didn't quite understand why, but then when I brought up that map, I realized, yeah.
Yeah. Canada is on fire.
But it made sense that they were trying to be careful, I guess. I assume that smoke particulates are bad for plane engines, one would think.
Yeah, that tracks. That's what I would expect.
I would imagine it's bad for visibility, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And not to mention, probably not healthy for anyone being there. I mean, Calgary and apparently.
I'll tell you what it's very good for is setting a kind of a Wes Craven-y sort of atmosphere.
Oh, totally! Like we're talking Silent Hill levels of smoke. I mean, you really want to be if you want to not have any visual distance at all of any kind. Smoke is the way to go. I totally recommend it. Burn something tomorrow.
Yeah.
Although I will. Looking at that fire map, I did notice that the fire in Strathcona Park on Vancouver Island is not listed anymore. So,
cool.
Went out, I guess, because when it started, right before the Kelowna stuff, like 2 days before Kelowna, Vancouver was getting smoke, and we were looking it up, like, wow, Vancouver's getting a lot of smoke from the interior. Apparently, no, all the smoke we had here was from Strathcona. Like it came right across and just covered Vancouver. But I'm happy to report, if anyone cares, there apparently isn't a fire in Strathcona anymore. So that made me happy.
Good.
So so Locke, of course, you're coming to Beer Fest.
Wait. Didn't Locke tell us he was actually going to another continent?
I was planning on doing that, but it's not happening. I've
Oh.
got too much work to do here. It's going to have to wait until after December. At this point, I've made peace with that. But yeah,
Okay.
Well, aren't you going?
There may be
to,
some knock-on effects to that decision. Wink, wink.
Well, are you? You're actually coming up to exam time for law stuff, are you? not?
That's in November, but yeah, it's
November.
but
okay,
I am
okay.
getting serious about it now. You're correct in assessing that. Yeah, now is that moment has begun. Yeah.
No, that's good because I'm excited about that. Because as soon as you're like a full-fledged lawyer and you can represent people, I'm going to go and commit so many crimes. I'm going to need representation. I'm just saying.
You get calls from me at 3 a.m. Look, I need you to come bail me out.
What did you do? I don't know. I woke up. I was in a hotel room, and there were like dead people everywhere. I was holding a gun and a knife. Oh my god! Welcome to our brains. So, so overall tonight, the beers have been pretty good. We have no complaints.
No.
I really want, actually, I'm going to insist at some point, Locke, that you take some sawdust cans of beer, throw them in the mail, and mail them to us. Because, we probably should investigate some beer from back there.
That is a solid plan. Yeah. We'll make that happen.
Yeah, because because I know that there are definitely some breweries back east that don't make it out here, and I would think it would be kind of fun to actually see those ones. Didn't I mail you beer at one point? I can't remember. I mailed beer somewhere, but
Yes,
yeah. So I mailed some stuff that I found somewhere. I've forgotten what it was. What was it?
It was beer.
Oh, it was Regina.
Oh, yeah, that was
stuff
from
from
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan breweries that I've never seen out here, and I assume have not made it back east. So that was kind of fun. But there's definitely some beers I think that we should try.
Did we have those in 2023 or 2022?
Last
That was 23.
fall sometime. Or
or 22. One of those,
I picked them up. I picked them up last summer. I picked them up last summer.
Okay, so we had them in the fall.
I'm pretty sure it was the fall. It could have been earlier this year. I don't remember. Was I lazy and didn't mail them? But essentially, there's definitely some things that we need to
I want to have some of those beers again. They were really good.
I have to admit there was two breweries that I didn't actually get to that I would like to see. There's not Fuddruckers. I want to say Fuddruckers. No. Allie,
speaking of,
what is the brewery in Regina that we like? The one that makes the blackberry stuff. Never What? Bushwhackers. That's right. I did try and get. I was intending to get some Bushwhacker stuff when I was there, but I didn't make it because I was lazy, I guess. But yeah, definitely. There's some breweries back in that region that I think I would like to check out again. There's also the ones that we liked, I'd have to look back at the video record to find out. But thumbs up to those breweries, but also we really are lacking in the East Coast these days.
Yes, we are.
Alan's on his phone. Can you tell people watching the stream?
I feel like I'm driving. Everybody's looking around.
You're driving. We can tell. But are there any breweries that you've been to aside from Sawdust of late, Locke? Like, is there anything else in that region that you bounced into?
Oh, yeah. So of my regular haunts, Sawdust and Lake of Bays are sort of high on the list. And those are breweries. Apparently, there's a tap room / restaurant run by a brewery called Kuchiching, who have another very very hazy, very emulsified, hoppy sort of thing. Their other products are less exciting, but they're still a solid brewery. Like, they do good work. Now let me see. There's Catalyst. They're actually in Bracebridge. They actually have a non-alcohol beer of their own. Now, here's the problem with Catalyst is every time I go there, they are closed. The only time I've ever been able to talk to anybody from Catalyst is when they had a tent set up at a community fair at the park. So I don't know what goes on in that building, but they are hard to get a hold of. Let me see Black Bellows make an absolutely fantastic saison in the region. I would say that for a saison style, Black Bellows is my pick. There's some folks I visited in Perry Sound recently. Decent lager. I wasn't really there long enough to check out much, but they seem like, they're kind of leading the charge in that particular town.
Right.
They're not near the float plane, which means that they're developing a sort of the other side of, what in Perry Sound you would call the sort of the downtown strip. Perry Sound's a funny place. It has, I think, enormous potential to be, a fun place for tourists to go, but they haven't gone there in such a long time because of recently travel restrictions. But I think even previously, just changes in the modes of travel, like people tend less and less to do sort of long road trips and more to just jump on a plane and hit a hub and spoke type of thing.
I one time when I went to Toronto, I had to meet up with my wife and her family in Lindsay, and I took a bus from Toronto to Lindsay, and I could swear we went through Perry Sound, and I remember being quite just passing through. How much it looked like Qualicum Beach.
Yeah, I think I see that comparison.
Obviously, I mean it's along one of the Great Lakes there.
Yeah, but it's
not on the ocean, but yeah.
Yeah, no. It's about. I would say I would have to guess that the sizes are sort of comparable.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to Magnetawan Island, I imagine that's probably where you get there from, likely. But
Ontario is an interesting place.
Sorry, not Manitoulin. Sorry, I misspoke. I'm still getting used to the region.
Yeah, I found Ontario to be an interesting place. I kind of liked some of the amenities of it. Like I liked the GO train. You could live in a smaller town that was more affordable and park your car, get on the GO train, get into Toronto within like an hour, do your stuff in Toronto, and then just get back on the GO train and go home. I thought it was really, really efficient.
Yeah, they've made it much more painless than it used to be. I don't know if I don't know if it's quite up to the the Heathrow standard yet, but it's pretty good. Like the Heathrow Express is very, very good for what you pay and for how fast it is. It's fantastic. Pearson Express is solid. The delivery is definitely a cut above the latest stretch of Vancouver's track to the airport.
Yeah. Well,
The rollout for that line was appalling. Like it was sort of as bad as I've seen in any major, like international hub, which I think we can fairly call Vancouver. For a major international hub, yeah, that the delivery of that, the rollout was. I don't think I wonder how they found, like, was it maybe it was nepotism or something, but it was really like it was surprising seeing like the type of advertisements they would place on their own billboards, right? Like, because they've got a captive audience. They can put advertisements up because they own the stations and they own the train cars, right?
Yeah.
So they can put any adverts up they want. And the adverts that they chose to put up for themselves made them look, it was like oozing negative charisma. It was like they managed to hit almost every button of, here are reasons why not to like us very much. It was just bad art, stupid copy, thought balloons coming from stickmen about hate crimes while they're trying to explain that you shouldn't complain about our service. Like, what are they thinking? Like, What am I hearing?
My dog.
The microphone is
That's
suddenly gone dog mode on us.
Yeah, so she just came in.
Which is great.
She had to do a circle around me.
Do you guys remember that? Like, do you have memories of the rollout of what is that, the Canada line?
Oh God, yeah, I hated it. I'll tell you. Basically the Canada line was built so that it could increase traffic between the airport and downtown, which makes total sense. I've been to Toronto several times. I take their whatever that train is called. So it works really well. The problem,
most cities would want one.
Exactly. The problem is the construction of that particular line was behind. So they went from telling everybody it was going to be, we're going to tunnel a thing away and we'll only break ground where there's going to be a station. And then time started running out and they were only like a third of the way. So suddenly they just dug up Cambie pretty much all the way down to the water from downtown and walled off the thing. So at one point, it got so bad that you couldn't navigate Cambie at all. Businesses closed. Businesses sued them, especially closer to where we live, because they were so close and they had a tunnel underneath the thing and underneath Falls Creek to go downtown, and all this kind of shit was going on. A bunch of the companies sued successfully because the judges were like, this is stupid. You told them one thing. A year later, you're doing something else. So, yes, I'm awarding them a whole bunch of money. So, it was brutal. Now that the construction, of course, that phase is done, all is well. But now we have a line leaving there's a station a block from my house now that's going to be going out to almost like part way just past Kits, sort of getting into what's past Kits. What's it called over there? I can't remember. Anyway, the rich people live there. So they've tunneled that far, and so now we have the same problem. Broadway is being interrupted. However, they are actually doing they're doing what they said, tunneling, breaking out where there's only going to be a station. So that's been pretty good. It still interferes like half of there's a number of sections of Broadway. The Broadway is actually on a platform, like they've dug out entirely underneath the street, and they're supporting the street on some sort of steel thing. But overall, I gotta say, why are we talking about this? I can't. What was the whole reason we're talking about Canada?
Well,
sorry,
I don't know. I think Alan brought it up.
Yeah.
Didn't Alan bring it up? Isn't it Alan's fault? I think it's Alan's fault.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm drinking beer here.
But I'm not quite done flagellating the goddamn Canada line yet, because I just have a basic question for the two of you, which is this: what do you make of the fact that, contrary to really a century of train travel worldwide, that Vancouver decided that the best orientation for seats on a train is to have a bunch of them facing one direction in cramped sort of side by side, like horizontal orientation seating, one of them facing one way and on the other side facing the other way, instead of like just row seating on either side, so they could accommodate bicycles and maybe a few that are just back and forth so you can have a conversation.
Well, they kind of do that anyway, because I ride the SkyTrain, not every day, but, maybe once every couple of weeks I'll definitely be on it. But it's very much kind of how you describe it. Now, technically, the SkyTrain is not the same organization as the Canada Line. They established an entirely different corporation for the Canada Line instead of it just being another line of SkyTrain, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. But there you go. So basically, it is a thing where those cars on the Canada Line are slightly different than the ones from the...
By different, do you mean worse?
They're accommodating more people that are using the airport. So there's a lot more bicycle, they have a lot more space for people with luggage. Let's put it that way. So instead of the row seating, they have empty no-seat areas where people can stand with their luggage.
I don't buy that because if you've ever been on the tube to Heathrow, the orientation of the seats are normal, like they're just along the sides of the car, so that you can sit and put your legs out, or and there's plenty of room for baggage. I think what they imagined was that they were making more room for bicycles, but the problem is nobody's putting. Well,
I was just going to say, space. I think it's more of a bicycle thing.
And the other thing that's happening is that nobody wants to sit in those no fucking legroom seats, because there's no legroom, and you can't have a conversation with anybody unless you're talking to the back of their head or talking to somebody facing the opposite direction, sitting on the opposite side of the car. Like, it's idiotic.
Well, plus, I mean, maybe more so for you, Locke, since you're like 7'6". But
yes.
Well, here's the thing. On a bunch of cars, they do have the seats along the outside facing inward. They do have a bunch of those now. So there is definitely more leg room. You're not cramped into the thing. So they have changed. They've just actually announced their extension from in Richmond, south, which leads to people speculating that, are they actually going to run SkyTrain out to the ferry? So who knows? But definitely they are going in that direction. There's also a new station being put in, which I was part of the same news release the other day. It's almost done construction. It's supposed to be done like by the end of the year. So I mean, they are doing stuff to improve how it works. But as for the cars, they've introduced recently new cars. I don't know if I've been on one yet. From Bombardier, of course. They are sort of being introduced. They're being introduced because they are now starting, in theory, they're starting the expansion to Langley for some reason. But so who knows?
Well, I'm out of beer, guys.
Yeah, me too.
Oh shit!
It's terrible. But the beer I had, of course, tonight was this one here, the Tofino Cosmic Wave Double IPA. Alan had the gin and tonic gin and lime Pilsner from Fuggles. Locke, you had, I've forgotten the name. It has a funky name.
He had party shorts.
Party Shorts, that's what it was called. There we go, Party Shorts from Sawdust over there in the wilds of Ontario. But we'll be back next week, of course. We won't be in this format that you see here. We'll be probably live streaming from the
It'll be more
Great Canadian
rocking
Beer
and
Fest.
better.
Exactly. I will invite you, Locke, to come join, because the fancy thing that will be happening for us is that we'll be in mobile format, which looks... I don't know if I can display it with 3 people, but essentially we get stacked. So hopefully that'll work. But overall, thank you,
Locke,
everybody.
remember to bring your headphones next time.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
overall,
I
we'll figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we'll see you all next week from the Great Canadian Beer Fest in Victoria, British Columbia, from Royal Athletic Park with 80, 90. There's a bunch of breweries this year, more than last year. And we might even be drunk. So that has happened. There have been some live streams where we've been intoxicated. So yeah, we're cute that way. All right. We'll see you all next week. And everybody, thank you for watching. Everything you want to know about us is down there. And, because, we're awesome people. Something. And the show, of course, is brought to you by Crafty Land, approved by Greta. So there you go. Thank you all for watching. Bye!